What's going on, everybody? All right, so I usually save these for my group. This is kind of a Mindset Monday on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, whatever today is. I just wanted to talk a little bit about schedule and what it takes, and kind of a little piece of what my life is like in this crazy sport, and what life is in general, just like everybody else. So I'm a normal guy. I work a normal job. I have my own business. I have a shooting academy, which is a second business. I do private lessons that is completely separate of the shooting academy. There's a lot of things that I do that take up my time. I have 3 kids, a wife. I kind of keep that stuff private. I don't talk a whole lot about that, but they're a huge part of my life. I'm big about being a dad. My whole life revolves around them. And I'm lucky enough that I have a ton of support from all 3 of them. I have a 9, a 12, just turned 12, and a 14-year-old about to turn 15. So my whole life is surrounded by my family, and they support me and help me a lot. My wife is amazing. She does a lot of the legwork with our kids when it comes to taking them to school, picking them up from school, all those crazy things that obviously families have to do. So I'm lucky that I have that. My wife also supports me chasing my dream of, creating a business. I created a construction company from a job when we first met, and she supported that, and it hasn't been easy. It still isn't easy. I've held on to that business through up and down and all kinds of crazy different things, and economies going up, economies going down, multiple presidents, scenarios, government, everything. Everybody else controls what I do for a living, unfortunately. And I think a lot of other people are in that situation. So one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this is I was asked to volunteer to help coach my kid's softball game, coach her team. I've played baseball before, nothing professional, no college, anything like that, but I played baseball. And I've always been able to figure out how to coach sports because I'm really detailed about things, right? So like there's certain techniques and things that you have to have in baseball it's all body movement, right? Then you have the mental aspect, which I try to work on that all the time while I'm doing this as well. So I've been coaching softball, and this is the first time in, this is the first time in probably 3 weeks that I haven't had anywhere to go tonight. So I think we're going to actually go to dinner tonight as a family and not have to go coach softball, have to go coach a private lesson, not worrying about going to the range today. I have to go to work today, so I'm going to do that. That's kind of why I do these videos in the car. But it's one of those things where I'm like, wow, I am busy. And I always think about, let me rephrase that. I never really think about how busy I am. I mean, I'm always doing something that has to do with work. And my passion is shooting. I love this. So I'm fortunate enough to be able to turn my passion into somewhat of a financial gain, I guess. I don't know if there's much of a financial gain when I take all the money, I put it back into coaching and training and going to matches and teaching people and all that stuff. So again, I don't know if there's much of a financial gain there, but I really enjoy it. I love it. It's a passion of mine. I mean, it's all I think about. Even when I'm at work, I'm in the middle of, putting in kitchen cabinets or tearing out drywall or, remodeling a house. And I'm thinking about, man, what's the next video? Or, I'll get a message from a student, or even not even from a student, but just somebody random online that's watched a video and asked a question, and I instantly answer it. So, it doesn't help me at the job I'm on, but it's just how it goes. So it made me think today about how do I schedule this? How do other shooters schedule this? It's pretty simple. Oh, the other thing I've done this year that I used to slack off on a lot is I've made working out a priority. Boom, I'm getting back in the gym. I'm working out again. I'm starting to make that a major priority. So now I have to add that to my life. And I'm like, man, I don't feel like I have enough time for anything. I do. And you know why I have time is because I prioritize things. I'm not a calendar guy. I don't write everything down on calendars. I don't schedule in workouts. I make it happen, right? And I hear this all the time. Oh man, how do you practice all the time? I don't practice all the time. I don't have the time to go to the range and practice all the time, but I'm working out. That adds to me being a better shooter, right? I'm watching videos when I'm at the house analyzing my shooting so that I can start physically paying attention to them when I hit the range. When I go to the range, I make sure that that time is that time's so valuable. I use that time to really focus in. I drop my family. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. I don't have a construction company. I don't have anything in my life but shooting when I'm at the range. And honestly, I think that's one of my strengths as a competitor. I'm able to block out all the bullshit of life. All the bullshit. The politics, the all of it, everything. The gas prices, my wife, my kids, whatever it is. Right? But I also don't allow the small minor stuff to be a big deal in my life anyway, right? If the kids are having a bad day and they're being cranky or they're being a little whiny, oh well, like, suck it up, buttercup. You'll get over it, right? I treat the same thing about shooting. When I have a mic, oh well, let's go. Got to move on. Don't live on that stuff, right? So again, how do I schedule it? I prioritize my life. When I'm shooting, I'm shooting. I keep my phone on. I don't like turn everything off and ignore the world, but my priority at that time is to shoot, right? And when I go out and have fun with my friends, my priority is to have fun when we're on the range. But when it's my turn to shoot, I shut everybody off. I mean, listen, you guys all know by now, I'm a smart ass. I like to have fun. I'm laughing. I'm joking. I'm ripping on my friends. They're ripping on me. They could stand right next to my ear and talk to me while I'm making ready, and I don't hear them. I just ignore all that stuff. So I've learned to kind of block that stuff out. So again, how do I use that in real life? I prioritize. I make sure that when I wake up in the morning, I hit those weights. I hit that gym. I work out at home personally. I don't have time to go to the gym. But I hit those workouts, right? And I struggle many days to get that workout in. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, I should just go to work. I don't really want to work out. I don't feel like it. I didn't go to bed early last night. I went to bed late last night again. I stayed up and worked on videos till 2 o'clock in the morning for the Insider Circle, and I don't want to work out. But as soon as I start working out, I feel better. I'm like, man, am I glad I didn't skip this, right? Because it starts my day off on a positive note. It's the same thing with training. Me personally, I don't really like dry fire. I love to practice. So that's the one thing about me that I love to practice. I love to get better. I love to fix things that I don't do well in life in general. If my business is struggling, how can I make it better? How do I make more money? And it's not just money, but how do I make life easier, right? How do I make my life smoother? It's not just about money, because money doesn't always make you happy. Trust me. Before I started this sport, I was an 80 hours a week guy. I was making tons of money, but I was dying inside. I didn't have any passion for anything other than making money, and that was horrible for me. I just don't have that personality. So how do I prioritize that stuff? I just make sure I get up and do it. Dry fire, great example. I'm not a big fan of dry fire. I don't like it. I don't like it. To me, it's boring. So how did I change that? I started making dry fire videos where I could watch it on TV, and I had activators and mobile things and things like that. And then I prioritized my training when I went to the range. Instead of going to the range and just running a bunch of stages or just shooting bullets and going, cool, I practiced. No, I prioritized what I was working on. Now when I shoot practices, I practice multiple arrays every single time. I don't just go and shoot the same drill over and over and over again unless I'm working on something new. That's the only time I'll repeat my drills now, is if I'm working on something new. Most of the time, I'm not working on something new. I'm just dialing something in. I'm trying to make sure I get the details. I might go and start work on steel. I want to work on the visual patience type of things, but I'm prioritizing my training. So I wanted to kind of get this out to you guys because I see this a lot. I've been talking to quite a few guys, and they're like, man, the gas prices are killing me. It's getting harder to go to the range. Primers are getting harder to find. Powder's harder to find. All these things are happening So how do we make that happen? How do you get to that? How do you get to the next level without all that stuff? Prioritize. You got to prioritize your training. So when you do go to that range, you are working on something. You're not there just to win the match. Obviously, majors are different than practicing at your locals, but your locals need to start becoming your practice, right? If you can't get out to the range because you don't have the extra bullets, take that day that you had at the range that you were planning on shooting a local match and use it to practice at the local match. And how do we do that? We prioritize our training. All we're doing at that point is going, all right, I'm going to work on entries. This is just an example. I'm going to work on entries. I'm going to work on entry. I'm going to work on entry. Well, every stage has multiple entries, usually, right? So what I'm going to do is during that walkthrough, I'm going to hyper focus on that. And what are we working on? I want to get the gun up sooner, okay? I want to enter smooth. I want to make sure I roll that foot in, start to turn that hip, have my gun up before I get in. All those things need to be part of that walkthrough because I'm making it a priority to work on. And if I make a mistake during that stage, I need to fix it on the next one, right? I need to fix it on the next one. Why? Because my priority isn't to win at that match. I'm working on getting better at something. One thing, not 7 different things. One thing, pick that during that match. If your draw sucks and you're doing bad on your draw, guess what? You have 5, 6 stages. Your draw is the only thing that matters in that stage, right? You're going to push that draw. You're going to push that speed. You're going to push your effort. And that starts at the walkthrough. That starts before you even get to the range, actually. You have to commit to getting better by prioritizing it. And that's how I live my life. I prioritize the things that I need to do that will make my life better. So when I hear I can't get to the range, I don't have time to work out, I don't have time to do this, bullshit. I'm just going to say it out loud because you know what? You're probably not having anybody in your life tell you that. Bullshit. You can make the time. Get up earlier, get started earlier, go to bed earlier, go to bed later. We all have different lives. We all have different priorities. But I don't want to hear that. If you want it, you want something in life, you'll go get it. Trust me, remember that new gun you wanted? Somehow you found a way to get that gun. Whether you hid it from your wife or you didn't, somehow you found a way to get it. You got to prioritize it and make it a priority in your life. If you want to get good at this sport, it requires dedication. It requires work, period. There's really, that's the secret sauce, guys. It really is. That's the secret sauce. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a Tom Castro coaching me to make me better. I had me. And I had to prioritize in my life what I wanted in this game, right? It's literally a game, but do I want to be the best in this game? Or do I want to just be a guy who's like, oh, cool, man, I shot with my buddies. I had 17 mics, but I don't understand why, right? I don't want to be that guy. I never did, never will be, right? I hope when I become a senior and a super senior, I'm still trying to compete at the top level. That's my goal. I mean, and how do I do that? I become healthy. I prioritize my life around this game, right? And trust me, I have a lot of things going on in my life that I have to prioritize, but this is one of them. This is numero uno on my list behind my family. This game. So what do you want? How do you want it? And go get it. No more excuses. No more excuses. All right, guys, if you got any questions, hit me up in those comments, and I'll see you on the range.